Welcome back to the channel. Today we're continuing our journey in the Queen of the Hills Ooty and then heading over to its charming neighbour Coonoor, taking you through a full morning in Ooty, a short drive to Doddabetta Peak, a visit to the Botanical Garden followed by Ooty Lake, lunch at Sterlin Hotel restaurant Nilgiri Express, a train journey to Coonoor and finally the road drive to Coonoor as seen from the car. We'll also weave in some fun facts, weather observations, and a bit of local history so you not only see the drive but also feel the place. Let's begin. Ooty morning cold, beautiful weather. The day started in Ooty with a distinctly cold and crisp morning. If you've been to Ooty, you'll know that the mornings are often the most beautiful time of day. The air is cool, the skies are soft, and the entire town feels calm and peaceful. On this particular morning the temperature was just right, comfortable enough to be outside but still chilly enough to remind you you're in the hills, the kind of morning where you instinctively reach for a sweater even as the sun is starting to come up. As we prepared for the drive, there was something very visual happening on the car windshield. It was covered with dense water droplets. The high humidity and the cool night air had caused moisture to condense all over the glass, forming a thick layer of tiny droplets. It was almost like the car was breathing. The windshield fogged up, the edges of the glass blurred, and the world outside looked a little hazy and soft. A quick wipe, a bit of warm air from the vents, and the road came back into focus. But that small moment, the foggy windshield, the cool air, the mist hanging lightly over the hills really set the tone for the day. Ooty in the morning is special precisely because of these subtle details. The cold air, the quiet roads, the occasional mist, and that slow, unhurried vibe. That's what makes this place feel like a true hill station retreat. Drive to Doddabetta Peak. From our base in Ooty we started the short drive to Doddabetta Peak. Doddabetta is one of the most popular and accessible viewpoints in the region. It is often called the highest point in the Nilgiris, sitting at an elevation of about 2,637 meters, 8,652 feet above sea level. The road to Doddabetta is a short drive from central Ooty, winding slightly, climbing gently and offering views of the town and the surrounding hills as you go up. The entry gate to Doddabetta opens at 8 o'clock am sharp, so it's a good idea to time your visit accordingly if you are to go early and avoid crowds or fog later in the morning. If you plan to, you can comfortably spend about 20 to 30 minutes at Doddabetta, time enough to walk around the viewing area, take photos, and enjoy the panoramic view. From the top, when the weather is clear, you can see sweeping views of the Nilgiri valleys, tea estates, and even parts of Mudumalai and the Western Ghats in the distance. On cloudy days the experience is a bit different. The view is obscured, but the atmosphere feels even more dramatic, with mist enveloping the hills and the road. Doddabetta itself is not just a viewpoint. It has a small transmitter tower and some basic facilities, but the highlight is the open space and the sense of standing at the top of the hills. Many visitors come here specifically for sunrise, but a mid-morning visit also works well, especially if you're combining it with a visit to other parts of Ooty. Botanical Garden, a slice of Ooty's green heart. After Doddabetta we moved toward the Ooty Botanical Garden, one of the most iconic attractions in the town. The Botanical Garden is historically interesting. It was originally laid out in the 19th century, during the British colonial period, and reflects the European style of garden planning that was popular then. The garden is spread across several differently themed sections: native plants, exotic species, medicinal plants, and decorative flower beds. It's a great place to see a mix of local flora and imported plants that thrive in the cool Nilgiri climate. What you might not notice at first glance is the careful planning that goes into these spaces. The garden has specific sections for roses, orchids, ferns, and even a small greenhouse area. The pathways are winding and well maintained, and the entire layout is designed to feel like a pleasant walk through layers of greenery. For many visitors, the Botanical Garden offers a quieter, more relaxed experience than the busy streets of Ooty. You can walk at your own pace, stop to take photos, and enjoy the cool shade under the trees. If you're a photography or plant-loving traveler, this is one of the best spots in Ooty to spend a bit of time. Ooty Lake, a classic hill station experience. After spending about half an hour at Doddabetta Peak, we headed back towards central Ooty and made our way to Ooty Lake. If you've seen photos of Ooty, chances are the lake appears in many of them. It's one of the most iconic and easily accessible spots in the town. Ooty Lake is man-made but very old in feel. It was created in the 19th century, during the early development of the hill station, and was originally built for boating and recreational use. Today it still serves that same purpose but has also become one of the main attractions for casual visitors, photographers and families. The lake is roughly 7 kilometers in circumference, and the entire area around it is designed as a park-like green space. There's a walking path that goes around the lake, shaded by trees, and several small bridges and viewpoints where people like to stop and take photos. For many visitors, the highlight of Ooty Lake is boating. The lake offers pedal boats, row boats, and sometimes even small shikara-style rides, especially during the peak season. The water is calm and the surrounding hills provide a gentle backdrop, making it a relaxing experience, especially if you're not in the mood for long drives or intense treks. If you visit in the morning or evening, the light over the lake is especially beautiful. The cold hill air, the still water, the tea estates in the distance, and the occasional boat gliding by make for a very peaceful atmosphere. Another interesting thing about Ooty Lake is that it's closely tied to the local way of life. The area around the lake is usually busy with small vendors, food stalls, and toy cart sellers. Children love the little train-like ride that runs near the lake, and couples often take walks along the promenade. The lake is also easily accessible from the main bus stand and market areas, which makes it a convenient stop for people who are short on time. If you're planning a morning in Ooty, a good flow is Doddabetta Peak, around 8 o'clock, 900 hours m if you're ready for the climb and views. Ooty Lake next around 9:30, 10:30 m when the light is still good and the crowd is manageable. We'll then move on to the Botanical Garden or other attractions. This combination gives you a high elevation view from Doddabetta Peak, a flat, relaxing lakeside experience at Ooty Lake, and then a green structured stroll through the gardens. Nilgiri Express restaurant at Sterlin Hotel. From the Botanical Garden we proceeded to have a quick lunch at Nilgiri Express, the restaurant at Sterlin Hotel in Ooty. The restaurant is a popular choice for visitors looking for a comfortable, family-friendly meal without traveling too far from the main town. The food here is a mix of South Indian and North Indian dishes, with an emphasis on simple home-style tastes. Given that our family was planning to take a train onward to Coonoor, this lunch served as a relaxed stop before the next leg of the journey. Everyone had time to sit down, enjoy a proper meal, and gather their belongings before heading to the station. The restaurant's location near the town center also makes it convenient for catching a short drive or auto ride to the Ooty railway station after the meal. Train journey from UAM to Coonoor. History and the Chaiyya Chaiyya route. After lunch, the family headed to the Udhagamandalam, Ooty railway station to board the Nilgiri Mountain Railway train to Coonoor. The official station code for Ooty is UAM, and the journey to Coonoor is one of the most scenic in India, a short but magical stretch of the Nilgiri Mountain Railway, a UNESCO World Heritage listed route. The train itself is a charming heritage steam or diesel locomotive that runs on a narrow-gauge track. The route is famous for its steep gradients, sharp curves, and open countryside views. As the train climbs gently through the hills, passengers get a slow cinematic feel of the landscape: tea estates, forests, valleys, and small hillside villages. One of the most interesting and popular facts about this route is that it was the shooting location for the famous song Chaiyya Chaiyya from the Bollywood film Dil Se 1998, starring Shah Rukh Khan and Malaika Arora. The song was shot on the moving train as it traveled along this very stretch between Ooty and Coonoor, making this route a bit of a cinematic landmark. As the family boarded the train and settled in, the experience was a mix of anticipation and nostalgia. The sound of the whistle, the rocking of the carriage, the windows opening to the cool air, and the slow pace of the train all made the journey part of the memory. Meanwhile, I took the road route to Coonoor, driving the same ridge of the Nilgiris but with a slightly different perspective. Driving from Ooty to Coonoor Dashcam journey. The road from Ooty to Coonoor is a short but scenic drive, roughly 15 to 20 minutes depending on the time of day and traffic. The road follows the ridge with tea estates on one side and valley views on the other. The air is cooler, the road is relatively narrow, and the traffic is lighter than in the main town. As the car moves along the curves, the landscape gradually changes. The dense Ooty town feel gives way to the more open, relaxed atmosphere of Coonoor. There are fewer buildings, more open spaces, and the road winds through tea plantations and small residential pockets. The dashcam footage captures this in 20x speed. The winding road, the occasional mist, the tea bushes, and the subtle rise and fall of the ridge. What makes this route special is the contrast with the train journey. While the family moved through the hills in a slow, heritage rail experience, I moved in a car, getting a faster but still detailed view of the same region. It's a nice reminder that the Nilgiris offer multiple ways to experience the same scenery: by road, by train, and even by foot. About Coonoor, a charming hill neighbour. As we arrive in Coonoor, it's worth highlighting what makes this town unique. Coonoor is often described as a quieter, less crowded version of Ooty. It has a similar cool climate, but the pace of life is a bit more relaxed, and the town feels more like a small hill station than a fully commercial tourist hub. Coonoor is known for several things: Angle tea estates and tea tasting. The region has a strong tea growing tradition. Angle Lion's Head Rock and Dolphin's Nose viewpoints that offer excellent views of the surrounding valleys and the Western Ghats. Angle Heritage Railway Station and the famous Elk Hill and Lamb's Rock, which are popular spots for short walks and picnics. The town is also famous for its local markets, where you can find tea packets, chocolates, jams, and other hill station specialties. If someone wants a more peaceful Nilgiri experience without the full Ooty-style crowds, Coonoor is a great place to stay or visit. Conclusion: from hills to hills. Bringing this journey full circle, our day in the Queen of the Hills and its neighbor was a perfect mix of Angle cold, beautiful Ooty morning, Angle short but memorable drive to Doddabetta Peak, Angle peaceful walk through the Botanical Garden, Angle relaxed lunch at Nilgiri Express, Sterlin Hotel, Angle the scenic Nilgiri Mountain Railway train journey to Coonoor, with a fun fact that the Chaiyya Chaiyya song was shot on the same route. Angle, and finally the road drive from Ooty to Coonoor captured in dashcam footage. Ooty and Coonoor complement each other beautifully. Ooty brings you the classic hill station buzz, views, and attractions, while Coonoor offers a quieter, more relaxed version of the same hills. If you enjoyed this podcast-style narration and the dashcam journey, thank you for staying till the end. If you've ridden the Nilgiri Mountain Railway or driven this route from Ooty to Coonoor, share your experience in the comments. It helps other travelers a lot. And if you're planning a trip to the Nilgiris, this video should give you a clear idea of the road conditions, the timings, and the kinds of experiences you can expect. Until the next drive, stay safe, enjoy the hills, and keep exploring.